Yeah. You know what's really interesting? So there's this hedge fund called Ark Invest. Okay, so basically their focus is only disruptive innovation. So that means exponential technologies. Their main five focus areas of investment is all technologies that have still to go mainstream. And I bring this up because the CEO, she's like a very smart woman. Her firm has close to $8 billion in assets under management, so she knows what she's talking about, and she is one of the outspoken advocates of a market downturn to not happen, because I don't know the the mathematics behind what she's saying, obviously, but her main thesis was in the 40s was the first period of time in human history, really, that we had a coalition of technologies to emerge together, like a group of hugely influential technologies to emerge at the same time. So at that time it was railways, electricity, and I want to say the steam engine, all around the same. Railways, electricity. Yeah, I think it's like around the time of, like Rockefeller and whatnot. Maybe later actually, 1930s, 1940s. And that time, what happened was, those innovations were the drivers of the economy. Okay, so like there was a huge surge upwards, and the same thing repeated when the internet happened. Obviously, internet at a much larger scale. And if you look at the graph that plots the emergence of these technologies with economic productivity, it's a clear like upward spike. And what she's saying is, unlike, counter to what other prominent figures like Ray Dalio, for example, like he operates the world's largest private hedge fund, or one of the largest financial management firms, like 60 or 100 and 100, something 100 odd $1 billion, a lot. And he was an advocate for market crash. But what she's saying, her name's Cathy Wood, the CEO of Ark Invest. What she's saying is, the period of innovation that we're in right now, it dwarfs the internet, because blockchain alone, let's for example, in terms of, according to their estimates, is 2 or 3 times larger in is going to create 2 or 3 times larger market capitalization, or in other words, in simpler words, of value, than the internet. So what the point I'm trying to get at is, she's saying that because of the 5 areas that she focuses on, which is basically the exponential technologies like blockchain, then there's even like video streaming, that's still to go. It's mainstream, but it still has a lot of upward growth. Then there's AI, stuff like that. She focused on that, and I mean, if you think about it, we really haven't seen so many emerge at the same time. There's like biotech, because the I think we've spoken about this. Like, the cost to sequence one human genome in the early 2000s was upwards of $1 billion, and right now it's less than 1,000. So it's a huge, and by 2024 it's going to be less than 200. So this is a huge, like, different technologies have hugely influenced. Those are going to cure diseases, like cure cancer. Cancer is going to be a thing of the past. Like, that's the fact. Like, not now, but we know it's a curable. It's not like this, this enigma.
Yeah.
So she's saying that all these technologies emerging together is why the crash is not going to happen. It's, in fact, we're going to have even a further bull run. And like, what she's saying makes sense, but I don't think she foresaw the coronavirus.
I was gonna say that.
And that just makes I still think what she's saying is true. Like, just personal opinion. Like, I still think the economy has a lot of runway upwards.
So you think it's gonna correct itself?
Oh, 100%. But the time spans have greatly been like affected by this emergence that honestly no one could have seen coming.
I mean, yeah, it's thesis. Nobody can
Yeah.
foresee that kind of stuff.
So yeah, it's just an interesting like dichotomy, you know, like at one end you have this person, both really smart people, but like one who's saying there's no crash coming, there's no economic downturn, and on the other side we have this other person, equally as smart, saying that no, this like no, Ray Dalio, like he wrote a whole article on LinkedIn, like you can check it, like it was titled "Why the Market is Gonna Crash" or something like that, and I read it, I didn't understand much, but I got the general idea, and nowhere was it mentioned that, you know, like this black swan type event, like coronavirus,
I mean, yeah.
and it just changes everything.